Hi! Welcome back to another video. Today we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. Obviously in my previous videos it was mainly doll clothes and furniture for dolls. However, this time I'm going to be trying to make the doll itself. Kind of. What I mean by that is that I'm going to do a doll repaint video, and that will include repainting the face and doing new hair and also making a full outfit. Now, I have made a few OOAK dolls like this before. I actually used to sell them on Etsy, but Etsy was not the most accommodating marketplace for that, so I kind of gave up, and it's been a little while since I've done one. I am very much looking forward to being able to show the process on this new platform that I have, and I very much hope that you enjoy it. Quick disclaimer before we jump into it. This is going to be less of a tutorial, more so just a process video. So I'm going to be showing you how I made the doll rather than instructing you on how to make the doll, if that makes sense. So, if there is anything in this video that you would like me to do a tutorial on in the future, maybe one of the clothing items, maybe the hair, just let me know in the comments down below and I can maybe try and do that for you in the future. So, without further ado, on with the doll repaint. I have this Claudine doll who, as you can see, is on a made-to-move Barbie body. This is how I purchased her. I got her on Vinted for, I think it was like £2, which is kind of a steal. If you aren't in the UK, Vinted is like a second-hand selling site, kind of like, I guess, Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something along those lines. And yeah, so when I got her, she was already on this body, which is a fantastic skin color match, by the way. But in addition to being rebodied, they had also removed her wolf ears and covered them over with, I think this is epoxy. But yeah, so she has no ears and a Barbie body. Other than that, her hair I thought was in really good condition until I found this part here, which appears to be singed or burnt. So I am going to remove her hair. I'll keep however much of it is salvageable, which should be a decent amount. As you know, I don't like to throw things away if they can be used in future crafts. So the first step will be to remove her head and remove the hair and also remove her face paint. So I have removed all of her hair plugs, and as you can see, that was clearly not epoxy that was filling the ear holes. I'm not certain entirely what it was. However, it must have been something like hot glue or maybe Warbler, because it melted and dissolved pretty much as soon as I heated her head to take it off the body. And yeah, so it took quite a while to scrape all of that off, but it is cleaned up now, and I suppose we shall have to find another solution for how to close those holes. But before we get to that, I'm just going to use some nail polish remover to remove her face paint. Her face is all clean now. I have all of the face paint off. Her lips are a little bit stained. However, I don't think that should present any issue because the colour that I have planned to use on them is quite a dark shade of red. And that aside, she is all ready for her repaint. So the first step of that will be priming her face with some MSC or Mr. Super Clear. MSC is very toxic, so if you are also planning to do a repaint using MSC, please make sure to do it in a well-ventilated area, preferably outside, and with quite a high-grade filtration mask, if you can. Now that she is all sprayed with Mr. Super Clear, she has a really nice sort of papery finish to her skin, and now I can use some watercolor pencils and soft pastels to sketch out the face that I want. I have an image here that I did as a little mock-up for how I want her face to look. What I did was just get a picture of a blank Claudine face off the internet, and then I went into Photoshop, or, well, I use Ibis Paint actually, but I went into Ibis Paint and I just digitally drew her face on, and that is very useful. So, fingers crossed I can replicate it in 3D. So for her outfit, I have this plan that I drew up in Ibis Paint. Apologies, it's quite sketchy. Again, it's just a plan, so I didn't put a huge amount of effort into it, but again, I wanted to give her like a kind of witchy vampire kind of look. So she is going to be wearing an outfit consisting of 4 main components. So she has a turtleneck, which I have drafted here, a pattern for, and then over the top of that she has a tank top, then there is a corset that goes over top of that, and then she has the skirt. Hopefully these patterns will work out. I've just taken some measurements here and then used them to sketch out some approximate patterns. I am not certain that they will all work out, but I'm going to take a shot at it and we shall see. Small side note, I had fully planned on trying to turn in the edges of this little crescent moon cutout. However, I think I cut it too big, and so if I turn the edges it's going to be even bigger. So I'm just going to use some fabric glue or fray stop to go around the edges to hopefully prevent it from fraying or causing a run in the fabric. With her face all finished, I have sketched on a few little fine baby hairs in preparation for the rest of her hair, which is going to be locks, as you can see in this little drawing mock-up plan that I made. And they're going to have a few different accent colours, very, subtly in there, and also plenty of accessories and lock jewellery. I have really high hopes that this is going to look super cool, and I am very excited to see it come to fruition. So, first of all, we need to figure out what we're going to do with these head holes. And usually on these repaints, for female dolls, I tend to root into the head with a rooting tool. However, I think, obviously, because locks are thicker, that just wouldn't work. So I'm going to glue them on instead. And the useful thing about that is that it means I don't have to root into whatever I use to fill this area. So I think I'm just going to hot glue some circles of fabric over the top. And then obviously when I glue the hair on top, it'll be all covered and we should be okay. Okay, now that her head holes are filled, or covered up I should say, I'm going to begin gluing on the locks. Now I have a decent little collection of them here. I made these by needle felting them with just regular felting wool supplies. I'm not going to show you the process for that in this video. However, I have made a YouTube short that you can check out if you want to see how I made them. I'm not super good at needle felting, I will admit, but I think they turned out okay. So, without further ado, we shall commence the gluing. Before I reunite her head with her body, I am going to get her dressed. The last addition to this outfit is these boots, which I actually painted quite a long time ago for a different project and then just never really used. I believe these were one of a pair of the G1 Claudine's shoes, ironically, and I just painted them up in brown and gold, and I feel like they would go quite well with the aesthetic. We're going to try it. One thing that I really love about these boots is the chain detailing, because as you might remember from my little sketch of the outfit, she is going to have some gold chain accessories, so that would match pretty well. However, well, there is quite a nice contrast there. And these boots, obviously, they aren't made for Barbie feet, but they fit her pretty well, so I think that's a win. Yeah, I think they can work. I do have another option. I have Headmistress Bloodgood's black boots, which could provide some contrast and sort of hark back to the black top up here, but I think these are okay. So we're going to leave these for the minute and move on with reuniting her head with her body. I am genuinely very pleased with how she's looking so far, but this is actually not the finished item yet. There are still some things to go, which is actually what I have been most excited for, and that is accessories and beads and jewellery and all things like that. So I have been around my house, I have gone through some old jewellery supplies and all those sorts of things, and collected lots of charms and, the kind of metal findings, and I'm just going to deck her out as much as I possibly can. So we'll get into that. I am very pleased to introduce Claudette Wolf. She is called that because in my headcanon, this is the daughter of Draculaura and Clawd, because I really enjoyed that ship in G1. I am not entirely certain if it's still the case in G3. However, because she is made from a Claudine doll, she obviously still looks a lot like the Wolf family. However, I gave her this kind of vampy, witchy aesthetic because in my head, she inherited her dad's looks and her mum's powers. Because in the new show, I do know that Draculaura is both a witch and a vampire. So this character is both of those too, as well as having some werewolf genetics, although since she didn't have her ears when I got her, she did not inherit the werewolf-ism? I know there's another word for that, but I don't have time to look it up right now. Overall, I am really happy with how she came out. I really enjoyed making this video. I know it's a bit of a new format from my others so far. I really hope that you enjoyed watching as well. If you did, I would very much appreciate a like and maybe a subscribe if you'd like to see more of these in the future. And let me know in the comments down below if you like our new little character here. I am going to go ahead and go. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!